It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lusaka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In the news tonight, revelations that state-owned companies are engaging in corrupt practices. Another long wait for water for bar residents as dam is still shut down. And flash mob in the city with the message, stop bullying. Good evening and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. It has been revealed that most state-owned enterprises have been corrupt. Minister for Public Enterprise Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says they have received reports of bribery taking place. Epeli Tukuwasa reports.
Ayaz Sayed Qayyum, in addressing board members of state-owned companies and statutory bodies, says dishonesty and corruption should be wiped out from all government enterprises.
Most of the state-owned enterprises in Fiji have been corrupt. It's a given. I can probably, all of the organizations that you all are in, I can tell you they'll give you some incident. Some of them may be corrupt in the sense, or have been corrupt in the sense of people taking bribes directly, tender processes not being followed, or people who've been directors on various boards have allowed those statutory bodies or state-owned enterprises to go and procure services from their very own companies.
Sayed Qayyum says there are some who are board members of both the parent body and also its subsidiary company.
We have incidents where directors who may be making decisions have received funds from people who are bidding for projects. Whether it's been paying for their children's school fees or their medical bills, or whether it's been in relation to them funding their properties or getting a loan from them. It would probably be quite unheard of in other jurisdictions. And in Fiji, it has been allowed to happen.
The company decree will put an end to these corrupt practices.
This is going to be a very interesting scenario for next year, in particular when we have the company's decree coming in place.
The senior executive have been told to lift the standard of operation. Epeli Tukuwasa, FBC News.
A 12-year-old girl is the latest drowning victim in the country. Police say she was swimming with her brother in a pool at a Nandi resort when she drowned. A resort guest noticed the boy looking at her sister at the bottom of the pool and retrieved the body. Efforts by the guest and resort staff to try and revive the girl were unsuccessful. Police are again calling on all parents to strictly supervise their children with the school holidays at hand. The drowning toll for this year now stands at 40 compared to 69 last year. A man has been sentenced to 11 years, 7 months in prison for 2 counts of rape and 1 count of indecent assault. Between January and December of 2011, the perpetrator raped the victim on 2 occasions. She was 8 years old at that time. Last year, while the victim was home for school holidays, the 38-year-old man made verbal gestures towards her. The victim had told her grandmother about the incidents. However, she later had to report it to her teachers before any action was taken. The Lautoka High Court has imposed a minimum term of 11 years before parole. The rapes happened in a village in Vatukola in Ba. And residents living along the coastline near Lodala Beach Estates Industrial Division in Nasinu are up in arms against a land reclamation project carried out by the Nasinu Town Council. The residents claim the council acted beyond the initial agreement that $52 million funding from the GEF Small Grants Program was for rehabilitation and not reclamation of the foreshore. But they say the climate change adaptation funding agreement only allows for a 5-meter reclamation. The residents question if an environmental impact assessment had taken place before work commenced. Nasinu Town Council Special Administrator Mosese Kama told FBC News they have obtained all the necessary approvals, saying the project is in the interest of the residents and they'd rather fight climate change further away from homes along the coastline. Silence is no longer an acceptable response to bullying. This is the message from the organizers and participants of an anti-bullying flash mob, which was held in Suva this afternoon. Sharon Lata has more.
This busy street in Suva stood still for a moment as over 50 young people, particularly the school children, organized a flash mob with the message of putting an end to bullying. With the school holidays set to begin, the United Nations Children's Fund, together with the Fiji Police Force, organized the flash mob with hopes of getting the message across and ending bullying and school brawls.
It's a campaign to end violence against children, so it's a global campaign that UNICEF is promoting with countries to stop violence against children, because the rates of violence against children are very high, particularly in Fiji, where we have reports of over 70% of children, families think it's okay to violently discipline children. So together, today the young people got together to spread their message themselves that they would like violence to end.
A flash mob is a group of people who assemble suddenly in a public place, perform acts on a theme for a brief time, then quickly disperse. Part of Rodwell Road was closed.
I think it's really cruel, and parents should think about that, because it might affect their feelings towards others, and it will really infect them if this is done to them.
A lot of students from various schools around Suva putting up a gang fight here in Suva, the bus stands and the career stands. So this is a common trend. Refrain from violence. Please don't try and take part in a school rivalry or a school gangbang, because this not only will it spoil your school name, especially it will spoil your name as a whole.
According to UNICEF, about 11% of children aged 16 to 17 reported in being touched in a way that made them feel uncomfortable with the past month. And from the survey, bullying stood out to be a prime factor in physical abuse. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, water problems now a thing of the past for Vanwavatu villagers.
Today FM is #1 here in Singatoka.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
I love Today FM because they play the awesome song.
Lotoka City love Today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 sa Batolo FM, and number 2 ay Raki-Raki.
Bula FM number 2 in Nosor.
Go etabo ke boto ko sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM number 2 ay Corvo.
Bula FM number 2 ay Sawa.
Bula FM number 2 ay Lotoka. Bula.
Number 2 ng Bula FM member.
Bula FM number 2 ay Nasir in Singatoka.
Hotel Talita ka warong ng Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM number 2 ay Nasir.
Bula FM number 2 ay Nasir.
Welcome back to FBC News. The Ministry of Education today stated they are looking into the Koravuto College incident and have asked education officers to get further details. It is alleged that 2 high school teachers assaulted a student after drinking with him in the school quarters during school hours. 17-year-old Aman Kumar lodged a report with police following the incident on Wednesday, claiming he was beaten up by his own form teacher. Permanent Secretary for Education Dr. Brijlal says he has received a report about the case but has instructed their Lautoka office to find out more. Police were today interviewing the teachers after taking down statements from students. Residents of the 4 bar settlements who have been without proper water supply for over 2 weeks now may have to wait a little longer. As Chanel Sivan reports, the flushing process has been delayed due to the heavy rain conditions.
More delays for residents of Vatusui, Nadadi, Balevuto, Nukuloa, Nukuloambek Road, Tamba, and parts of Moto in Ba, who have not been receiving water from the dam in Balevuto for over 2 weeks now. Ba Advisory Council Chairman VM Pillay says the rainy conditions has made flushing of the pipes difficult.
Yes, according to our plan, we were all going right and the dam was flushed and also the pipes were being flushed, But as we all know, every day it's raining here, and the creek water is very dirty, and also it's very difficult for Ministry of Health to do the test. We will take a bit of time to open the water for the community.
Pillay says they will also need to fence the area around the dam as they have spotted animals near the source of the water.
So the dam side has to be fenced. So we are still working on all those things, and I believe still we will take a bit of time to open the water for the community.
People can still use water from any government tanks, and they have been advised to collect rainwater.
We have other options to connect the lines to mines of WAF towards Moto, and then putting up of big tanks like 30,000, 40,000 liters of tank, and then supply through the taps, through the pipes to individual homes, which will be a temporary measure.
The dam was closed by authorities after residents of the 4 settlements that use the water source contracted leptospirosis and hepatitis A. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The island of Vanuatu in southern Laos always runs out of drinking water at the onset of dry spells. Located far from the mainland, it is difficult to provide relief to the 135 people who call this island home. However, now the island has its own desalination plant to help ease the problem.
The island of Vanuatu is well known for its water problems. With a couple of wells that often dry up and irregular rain patterns, the villagers have struggled for clean and safe drinking water.
From the time of our ancestors, Vanuatu is well known for its water problems. We have become used to it. When I started as the headman, we went through a difficult time. Got to a stage one family had to survive 1 bucket of water for 2 days for cooking and drinking.
This new desalination plant purifies seawater, making it safe to drink. For the people of Vanuatu, it's a lifeline.
We now have this new machine for water, the desalination plant. We are really happy and grateful for this new plant. We feel and we know that we will no longer have to cry to government to give us water.
Until the plant came along, it was normal practice for people to bath in the sea and rinse off with coconut oil. During dry spells, when rainwater runs out, villagers rely on an underground spring at the beach, which is only accessible during low tide. Meals are cooked in the lovo unless it's absolutely necessary to have food boiled in water. Their struggles have not gone unnoticed.
Vanuatu's geographical location is furthermost out compared to the other 4 islands which were identified under this commissioning project. The people of Vanuatu are not accessible to any of the available shipping franchise operating else anywhere in the Lao group, which is the second reason they were chosen to be a recipient.
The desalination plant is the second of 4 installations identified under the Japanese government's assistance. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Attorney General Aya Sayed Qayyum says the government will work together with the Fiji Institute of Valuers and estate managers in developing standards and getting legal recognition for the body. This is the 4th conference for the Institute to discuss issues which is eminent in the property profession. Property professionals in both valuation and estate management will get to broaden their knowledge at the 2-day seminar. The Institute implemented a compulsory development program to help raise the bar on their practice, which was introduced in 2011.
Really, my understanding of valuation should be an objective test. There should not be subjectivity. It should not depend on, well, who asked you to do the valuation. It should not depend on, well, let's try and please both sides. There needs to be objectivity around it.
And we turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Amrita. After the break, the latest from the Fiji 7 side in Dubai and results from the Fijiana. Also coming up, Fiji FA signs its biggest sponsorship deal ever. Stay with us for the details.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो FBC2 is number 1 in Singatoka.
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है। देश की धड़कन रेडियो FBC2 को मेरा सलाम।
नैनी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो FBC2।
रेडियो FBC2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
रेडियो FBC2 is number 1 in सिंगापुर।
नैनी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो FBC2।
हम ननुपुर की रहता है और हम रेडियो FBC2 हरदम सुनता है।
हमें रेडियो FBC2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे, आप भी रेडियो FBC2 सुनो।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो FBC2।
Talita na radio FBC1 na muirani no ndabonoa.
Ando talita kana borrongo na radio FBC1 singatoka mbole ni station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio FBC1 station ni alumatu elo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio FBC1 na mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tu ko korbo. Ando borrongo leve na station ni alumatu na radio FBC1.
Ando borrongo na radio FBC1 na station ni alumatu na mandoi tele. Na radio FBC1 nando moi bitin bonga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Fiji 7 side starts its Dubai tournament campaign in just under 2 hours. Fiji has never won in Dubai, but under the guidance of coach Ben Ryan, the side will be looking at breaking the drought. However, the entire team knows too well, while Fiji is always a top bet, they are virtually a new-look side.
I've had some great memories here, and going in the clubhouse and seeing some of the photos of the team lifting the trophy in 2010 and 11 has been brilliant. But it's a great atmosphere. Fiji is often many teams' second team, if not their first team, so I'm sure the boys won't lack crowd support, and particularly the way we play. You know, we will score some stellar tries this weekend, and hopefully our defence will be solid and robust, and we'll see how far that takes us.
Fiji's first game is against the USA at 8:16 p.m. Meanwhile, the England 7 side is expecting a tough battle against Fiji at the Dubai tournament. England 7 skipper Tom Powell says while they don't count out USA and Canada, who are also in the same pool, the Fiji game will be the toughest. Coming off the 26-12 win over Fiji in the quarter-final of the Gold Coast Sevens last month, the English side is confident going into the match.
Yeah, I mean, Fiji are obviously one of the household names when it comes to sevens. They're a great team, and obviously coached by our old coach. Had a little subplot. We managed to come out on top against them in the Gold Coast, and as you mentioned, beat them in 2011. So it'll be a tough game, I'm sure, but we'll go into it with the right mindset and try and implement what we want, and hopefully that'll do the job for us.
The two teams meet on Saturday morning. Fijiana. The Fiji women's rugby team only managed 1 win out of 3 games in the pool stages of the Dubai Sevens last night. The girls beat Ireland 38-5 in their opening match, but then went down 24-19 to the USA in a closely fought battle. In their last pool game, Fijiana lost 33-7 to New Zealand. The team had anticipated a place in the Cup knockout stages, but have found themselves in the bowl competition where they face Tunisia in the semi-finals. The match kicks off at 12:40 a.m. tomorrow. Petero Divonideva capped off his sterling rugby league career when he scooped 2 top honours at last night's Rugby League Awards in Suva. It was a fitting farewell for the gentle giant, but a start of new beginnings for the game in the country. Salentao Dakadaka reports.
The Vodafone Fiji Mbati's World Cup performance was best summed up by the chief guest at last night's awards.
And in the last 2 weeks, our heartbeat as a nation beat as one. And we shouted as one. We jumped as one. As those that stood on those fields of dreams, went for their dreams, created that passion, and sent it across halfway around the world for us to feel and also enjoy.
The highlight of the night was the Mbati skipper collecting the 2 major awards on offer, the World Cup Player of the Year and the Golden Star of the Year awards, to draw the curtains on a magnificent 16-year career.
It's nice to win individual awards, but you know, I have to thank the team for what they did for me. It was a great honour, I guess, being able to play for Fiji, represent Fiji for the first time, and to do it in the World Cup. It's something to be proud of. But I just can't thank the supporters enough for what they did for us in showing their devotion to this team, and they were certainly the ones that got us across the line.
The Mbati's exploits at the World Cup are sure to have a positive effect on the game in the country.
Well, there will be a lot of changes, a lot of development work, a lot of international exposure, a lot of things going to happen, and especially with our new sponsorship from Vodafone and other companies that are willing to come in and go with partnership with us.
So one legend sees his career come to an end. Herein lies the challenge to create new ones. Chalendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Football Association today received a massive $5 million sponsorship agreement from Vodafone and CJ Patel Pacific. This is the biggest sponsorship in Fiji FA history. So what does this mean for the sport? Indra Singh finds out.
Inking the new massive historic deal of $5 million for the sport for the next 5 years. This means all of Fiji football activities and events, minus the courts inter-district, is now covered.
We don't have to worry about money package of it, where the funds going to come from, how we're going to do the development. Now the money is there. There won't be an excuse for my technical department, my coaches, and my staff in Fiji FA.
It is a first for the sport in its history, which basically means Vodafone and CJ Patel will fork out $1 million each year. And why such a big amount for this sport?
We see a future. I think it's a sport that needed financial support right from the beginning. And we thought as a consortium, together with Vodafone as our partner, we thought that this would be the right place to invest and do the right thing. And now that the financials have been provided, then the owners are on Fiji Football to deliver the goods.
Vodafone, which has only recently shelled out $4 million for Rugby League, is expecting the new deal to help take Fiji football towards the pinnacle of the sport.
The sole purpose of doing what we're doing is to enhance the profile of the sports and also allow them the opportunity to work on development. You know, the foundation of most of the sports today is how well we develop them. The biggest testimonial is what we've done with Rugby League.
A historic day for a sport, which is seen as the second biggest behind rugby in this country. Now with $1 million a year, this will sure be the start of bigger goals for football. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
I suppose Christmas came early for Fiji FA this year. And on that happy note, that's it from me for the week. Amrita will keep you up to speed with sports over the weekend. Have a safe one. Good evening.
The annual Women in Business Awards 2014 launch for the Western Division was held in Nandi last night. Women continue to hold key roles in commerce and management in Fiji. These awards are held to recognize their success. The launch in Nandi is aimed at attracting more nominations for the awards, which will be held next year in March. The three categories are Business Women of the Year, Women of the Year, and Aspiring Entrepreneur of the Year. This is part of efforts being made to empower women.
Women make up almost half of today's labor force, but they don't share half the corporate power. A major reason for this? Most women were never taught how to play the game of business. When to speak up, when to ask for responsibility, what to say at an interview, and other key moves that can make or break a career. Men know the rules because they wrote them.
Scattered showers were experienced over the southern part of the group and the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands today. Mainly fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Now, on to temperatures. Suva, it seems, was the hottest today, hitting 33 degrees, but that's without readings from 3 other centres. Lambasa is the only place likely to see some sunshine early tomorrow. The forecast is for showers and thunderstorms in other centres. Now, the outlook for Sunday, showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. Recapping our headlines. Revelations that state-owned companies are engaging in corrupt practices. Another long wait for water for bar residents as dam is still shut down. And flash mob in the city with the message, "Stop bullying." Top poll question this week. What did you think of the Vodafone Fiji Mbati performance at the 2013 Rugby League World Cup? Log on to www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email. Citizens Eyes at fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your stories at FBC News, or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all for tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good evening.
ओल्ड टाउन टावर में इट्स ओनली मिर्ची एफएम. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
ताकि हर घर में खाली मिर्ची एफएम बजे. मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
Best sound, best music, Mirchi FM rocks and records.
नानी का नंबर 1 स्टेशन है मिर्ची एफएम. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. मिर्ची एफएम इट्स नंबर 1 इन नर्सरी.
मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. हम लोग मिर्ची एफएम रोज सुनता है. मिर्ची एफएम दागो मामा. मिर्ची एफएम